Let's go on to the other big issue out of Parliament today, and that is the industrial relations laws that Labor has put up. I'm joined in the studio by Amanda Rose from Small Business Women Australia. Good to talk to you, Amanda. I'm told that this legislation passed through the Senate in the last hour, so it is now law. Lots more power for the unions, in particular when it comes to small business. You must be worried about this push to make casual employees permanent. Isn't this going to be a horrible burden on a lot of small to medium-sized businesses?
This legislation is catastrophic to small businesses, and the fact that 2/3 of small businesses don't even know about it and that it's happening is the first problem. Second problem is the agility in a small business is very different. It's needed versus a large business. They need to change where it's casual, contract and so forth. If you force them to do something, they haven't the funds to do it. They'll just stop. The person will have to be let go. Then that person's unemployed. Don't forget that small businesses don't have the funds to read the 183 pages, to understand what the changes are of the law, if they're if they're going to breach it or not. Are they going to get fined? What do they do? I'll call my lawyer, I'll call my accountant. They can't afford that.
Small businesses can't do that. It's a huge disincentive to employ people.
Yes.
What about this the right to disconnect for workers too? Is this again a completely unnecessary government meddling in the relationship between employers and employees?
Well, the reality is the type of companies that do that are the companies that people will put up with it because they want to work there, big, large law firms and so forth, and they can find ways around it. The small business owner, they have a very informal relationship with their team. They might go to a doctor's appointment in the middle of the day and so they contact them after hours, or they might say, hey, we need a different shift tonight, and it's there's a good connection between the employer and employee. If this kicks in, you're literally tying the hands of the employer, and also the employee feels guilty. Should I respond? Shouldn't I respond? Am I allowed to? Is it legal? Again, another burden. And people just give up. People stop working for small business and small business start shutting down.
We were expecting unemployment to continue to rise over the next year or so. I fear this will make it a lot worse.
It will make it a lot worse, and that's what people do not realise, that small businesses are already shutting down at a faster rate than the last 4 years, right? And if they keep closing and shutting their doors, the employee that Labor say that they're trying to look after won't have a job at all.
Yeah, it is a worrying time. There is a little bit of good news, though, some unusual good news for the local economy. It comes in the shape of this singer. Now, why someone sings in a one-piece bathing costume has got me beat, but Taylor Swift they're talking about this as $150 million boost to the economy. How's this happening, and is it good timing?
Well, I think it's great. Don't forget there is, accommodation, Airbnb, people are travelling to come and see her in the different cities, but also small businesses are jumping on the bandwagon in a very clever way, and they're making friendship bracelets, which seems to be all the hype at the moment of Taylor Swift, and other things that say Taylor Swift themed this. And the good thing is you don't see her team coming down hard on them saying you can't do that. So often businesses do that, saying you can't talk about or use her name. So a lot of small businesses are benefiting from this as well.
The Tay-Tay effect. My wife's going with a girlfriend, so I'll spend some money on takeaway.
You'll have to drive, drop them off and pick them up.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us, Amanda.
You.
Appreciate it. Amanda Rose there from Small Business Women Australia.